Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills American Idol commentary from a singer. Tonight we had the top 4 girls. The top 4 are all girls, and they were performing. They had to do 2 or 3 different things. I guess it's 3 in the long run, right? So yes, tonight we had some themes going on. They had the flashbacks to start out of the top 4's first auditions as the pre-roll. Then they announced that the theme, well, they didn't announce all the theme, but I'm gonna tell y'all what the theme was. The first theme was Contestant's Choice. Then they had to do a duet, and then they had to do one-hit wonders. And they had clips of the girls visiting Children's Hospital Los Angeles and performing for them. First theme, Contestant's Choice, we had Amber Holcomb. She did The Power of Love by Celine, Dion, and she started out a cappella, and it was such a nice effect coming out of the applause. She was right on pitch and in full control. Her voice sailed over the crowd, and she was serving a little sassy sexiness. 3 judges stood for her, not Mariah. Key said if there ever was a song tailor-made for her voice, this was it. Nikki said the song was made for her and said she was current and ready. Randy said she was the contestant with the most growth this season, and Mariah said she took a classic song and gave it flavor. Jimmy was back after the commercials giving his comments on the performances, and he said he heard the top end of Amber's voice feeling some strain from everything that's been going on in the competition and all that, but it would be very difficult to beat her tonight. Next up we had Candice Glover. She did Find Your Love by Drake, and she met Drake way back with her, so last year sometime, and they showed a picture of them together and all that good stuff. And this was way slowed down in the beginning and just a little indulgent for me. So I liked it a lot better when she hit the pace, you know, and it gave a little tempo, give it a nice little jazzy swing. And again, she did what she does best. I wrote she did what she do best, putting those sick vocal stylings on the song and making it all her own. I wasn't as touched as with Love Song, but still a great performance. After extended applause and catcalls, Nikki said she wished she could have kept closer to the melody. Randy was kind of tepid on her performance also and said every phrase doesn't need a run. And Mariah said there were moments where she took her where she needed to be. While Keith said he loves the power in the quiet moments of her voice. And Jimmy said he agreed with Nikki on her critique. What? That's a change. So Kree Harrison was up next. She did It Hurt So Bad by Susan Tedeschi. And Kree really likes that bluesy mid-tempo kind of song, and it showed in her hips and body as she showed more personality and spunk than she has in almost any of her other performances. Randy said she was a tremendous vocally, though it might not be the best he heard from her. While Mariah said there were free-spirited moments when she connected with the audience. Keith pointed out that they could all sing, but what they were coming down to was the emotion, and she didn't pour her heart onto the stage. Nikki said that wasn't a top 4 worthy performance, while Jimmy said Kree chose the wrong song. Angie Miller did Who You Are by Jessie J, and she jumps back at the white piano and gives a very clean and crisp vocal performance while working the camera for all this work. You know how she is. And she is really in her element behind the piano and so connected to the music. And it doesn't come off as static because she's bopping and she's moving around the whole time. Just really energetic, even just being there, not standing or anything, but just all doing all the moves and stuff like that. It really keeps it going. 3 of the judges stood for her, not Mariah. And Mariah said her train was caught on the bottom of her chair, so it must have been caught almost the whole show. Mariah said she felt it was amazing and stunning and encouraged her to write more original songs. Keith said she started proper and got cooler and looser as the song went along. And she does that a lot, right? Starts off with the really proper phrasing and all that, and then as she goes along, she just kind of gets into it and kind of loses herself a little bit. Nikki was all smiles and said there's no one who compares to her when she is behind the piano. And Randy said he made her forget it was a Jessie J song and gave her 10 out of 10. And then Ryan called her grandma Elaine up on stage to give Angie a hug. That was such a sweet little moment. She was crying and stuff. It was just so cute. Jimmy said he was thrilled to see her get control of her powerful instrument and said she's neck and neck with Amber so far tonight. If you're enjoying the commentary, please thumb it up, thumb it up, thumb it up. You know what, I'm trying to be a little laid back tonight. You know, I'm a little tired, y'all, so give me some little help here. Give me some energy. Pour some energy in me. Pour some sugar on me. But I don't know where that came from. Moving on. Next came the duets. We had Amber and Kree doing Rumor Has It by Adele. And the harmony sounded off in the very beginning. And while Kree came in strong on her part. Amber sounded more tentative, but she got into the groove as the song went along. I think Amber is improving by leaps and bounds, but Kree she just totally stole this performance from me. She was just way more present vocally and in the mood of the lyric. Keith said they have a different way of being at the mic. Nikki said Amber was almost dominating Kree in commanding the stage and lit into Kree about getting her swag back, basically. And she gave them a big note that harked to me back to the battle rounds of The Voice, because she was saying, you know, when they're up there singing together, and of course they're doing a duet, they should be giving each other some energy. They should be going back and forth with it, and they really weren't doing that. So let's see if the next girls use that, you know, those notes for their performance. Angie and Candice did Stay by Rihanna and Mikky Ekko, and it was interesting to hear these two voices attempt to melt into one another, and it worked to a point, but it seems like they came off sounding more alike than really standing out as separate artists to me. They kind of picked up a little of each other's stuff, and I think if I would have closed my eyes, I might not have really known the difference of who was who. It looked to me like they took Nikki's note to the other girls and had a little friendly competition going on, especially when they got into the later part of the song. They got to do a little, seemed to be a little extra riffing and a little improvising. 3 of the judges stood for them, not Mariah, and Randy said that's the way you do a duet, and the music cut Mariah off because she was trying to say something and just, you know, they just moved on, right, going to commercial. Next up, we had One Hit Wonders, and the voting audience chose this theme. So Amber Holcomb did MacArthur Park by Richard Harris and Donna Summer, and this was another good choice for Amber's voice and range, but I was kind of torn, okay, because I wasn't really impressed with it as a top 4 performance. I wrote that it would have been better like in Vegas, but she got on top of the low notes really well and the high notes. She showed a lot of range, which was really good. I was kind of torn. I liked what she did with it, but I wasn't crazy about the song choice, I guess. Mariah and Randy stood for her. Keith said she's dominating tonight. Nikki said she tried to go for the longest idol note held in history. Randy said she's so ready and so current and so now. Mariah said her low notes are rich, beautiful, full, and gorgeous, and she was giving us star quality. And Jimmy said he didn't buy it and the song is corny. And of course that started a whole argument that came on later on. Then Candice Glover did Emotion by Samantha Sang and the Bee Gees. So she was just relaxing in the cut for this performance and feeling the vibe of the song, which was the perfect way for me, as far as I was concerned, to approach it. Very smart how she got into the big note and then got back to the groove. And of course we got that jazz inflected Candice ending, which was wonderful, simple and marvelous. I really enjoyed this, and you could see the judges just, you know, they were all into it, just like chilling and relaxing and enjoying it. So that was really nice. Nikki said she was grooving with her. Randy said she took her time and let it marinate, and it was another great performance from her. Mariah said it's beyond comprehension how she's been singing in this competition from the beginning, and she's a super duper singer. Keith advised her to pick a song that's going to make her stand out from everyone else next week. So he really believes she's going to be here next week. Thank you, Keith. Then Brian pulled Jimmy out on stage, and the judges debated with him, you know, about Amber's performances, and Nikki and Randy bum rushed the stage, you know, like they was gonna come and beat him up, you know. So that was a nice little moment. Kree Harrison came up next with A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. I don't know who that is, and Lennox. I'm gonna have to look it up later. This was a very old-fashioned song, but it had a nice range that challenged Kree's voice, and she really showed them how to do it on this. As far as laying it all on stage, she said she thought she was gonna lay it all on stage and all this good stuff. I think she did just about all that she could do, and she got a little misty eye. And what I think it is about Kree is she has such a stellar vocal, and she doesn't really have to work for it. So when she's up there and she's into the moment and she's relating the song, she's just giving it to you like it's a story, and she's just singing it to you, and she's just giving you the little inflections here, just in the face, a little bit in the body, but she's not really, you know, going all over the place with it. And I think sometimes they're mistaking that for saying, oh, well, you're not really laying it all on stage. She is giving us everything. And I think she's just not that type of performer that's going to be rolling on the stage, you know, Patti LaBelle and Fantasia style. That's just not who she is. And you don't have to do that in order to really put across a song. And that is what Kree has. She can put across that song just standing there poised and, you know, she ain't got to Yeah, but anyway, that is my rant about that for this video. I thought she did wonderful on both of her performances. And I like the little hip thing she had to go. I could tell she was into the first number because she had the hips going and stuff, you know, and she was feeling it, and she got into the... And she did make some faces on that first song, and the judges, I think they couldn't see him because she was behind and they were trying to watch the screen. So anyway, Randy said singing will never be her problem, and it was brilliant. Mariah said she's a great artist and a great song will always accentuate it. Key said the songs for her have been middle ground songs and don't really work at this stage of the competition. Nikki said she put her heart and soul into it, but she doesn't think it's going to keep her out of the bottom two. Wow. So Angie Miller did Cry Me a River to finish out the night by Julie London. And my ears perked up when she started this. I mean, very nice tone, and not the last one out of her mouth during this performance. She really had this big belt down pat, and it's not harsh and brash. It's very pleasing, and it comes out pretty naturally. Mariah complimented her on her elegance and her clear, concise high notes. Nikki said she was snatching wigs tonight, and tonight was her night. Randy said it was the best of the night, hands down. What did you think? I was a little tired tonight, so things were just a little sleepy for me, but I was still engaged in what was going on, and I really enjoyed the girls. They are all singing at a very high level and all doing their thing. Any one of them could win. Any one of them could win. Tomorrow night, Randy announced there will be a surprise twist in the competition. I wonder what that is. But I guess we will find out tomorrow night. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time.